Good morning, Ash. How's it going, man?
Hey man, not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So what's planned for
Right.
today? It looks like you're about to start
I'm
work.
at I'm at work. Started a little bit earlier, but yeah, got a pretty cruisy day, which is good for Friday. So
Lovely.
yeah,
So what are you
just
doing
working
today?
and I work in project management.
Mhm.
So yeah, just sort of helping manage a few infrastructure projects.
Wow,
So it's
that's
been
pretty different from being in a deathcore band.
it is a little bit, yeah. Often people I work with sort of ask about the band, and if I show them, they're just like, "What?"
Is
A bit shocked.
it ever, I suppose, hard getting time off to go on tour or play gigs or anything?
No, I'm very fortunate, man. Like my employers are really supportive of it, so I've never really had any issues sort of getting time off and everything. So I usually just use like annual leave for it. But if I ever didn't have any, they'd be more than happy for me just to take unpaid leave. So that's yeah, that's really good.
That is incredibly fortunate. And
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
especially with a beautiful agony just coming out. I mean,
yep.
surely you guys are going to get out and play a couple, well, if you can kind of get out and play a couple of shows in support of that.
Yeah. So we've got we just announced a co-headline tour with Nicolas Cage Fighter, and then Villa Fire are the main support on that one. So we've got a few dates for next month and March. What is it? 25th of Feb is Brisbane, then 27th is Sydney, and then Melbourne is the 4th of March. So should be good to get on the road again. Hopefully those shows still happen, but we'll play it by ear, I guess.
Definitely. It's yeah, so hard to tell kind of going into state for shows nowadays, but hopefully they do go ahead because that is a massive lineup. I mean, you guys next to Nicolas Cage Fighter as a double headliner is pretty insane in itself. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
I'd have the energy to mosh to both bands kind of thing. Like that's a mental show. Have you
yeah,
been
should
friends
be.
with those guys for a while?
No, we haven't. No, we've never met them. So this will be the first time we've met them or played with them. So
Mhm.
it'd be good to. It's always good getting on the road with a new band and make some new friends. And they got some heavy tunes. So I'm keen to see them live.
Definitely. And because I assume you guys have been playing A Beautiful Agony live for a little bit with it having just been released.
Yeah, we got a few shows in at the start of last year. So we did a little run with Babarusa from Brisbane. So we started playing it on those dates, and then we had one other show with Diamond Construct in Newcastle, and
Mhm.
that was sort of right before everything got locked down. So we did get to play it a few times, which was good.
Definitely. And
Always good playing some new material after you've been playing sort of the same set for a while.
yeah, I can imagine. And I suppose, to gauge the crowd response as well, where it's an upcoming single and it's like, shit, people are really getting around this.
Yeah, we had a really good response from it live, so that was sort of, I guess, reassuring. When we were going to release it, we sort of yeah, had that feeling there that people would dig it. So that was good.
And they definitely have been. I mean, 3,000 streams on YouTube alone in the first 24 hours. And then I think it's now up to just under 6,000, which is pretty insane on the music video. So that's quite a big release. I mean, especially for, a deathcore band from Newcastle, that's quite a bit of a following, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, we're blown away with it, and like the response we've had from it has been like really positive, and
Mhm.
all their friends and family have enjoyed it. We've made some new fans, which is cool. So we've actually been sitting on it for months. Like we recorded the song. I think it might have been February or March last year, so pretty early in the year, and then we recorded the music video for it. It was actually the day after our last show, which I think was in May. Um, so we've been sitting on it for a while, and we didn't want to release it if we couldn't sort of play shows off it.
Absolutely.
We're still at that stage where we're building our audience, so we finally get the most benefit out of releasing stuff when we can play shows off it. So we've sort of just been holding on to it until it's a suitable time to do it, and got this little tour book. So we planned all that out and yeah, released that. Fingers crossed we can play these shows.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm hoping for you guys because that honestly, that final breakdown, that kind of needs to be seen live. Like that whole final minute of A Beautiful Agony is just insane, to be honest.
Yeah, she hits pretty hard live. Those few times we played it earlier last year, it went off.
Yeah, I can imagine it would.
Yeah, all the
And
moshers like it, so that's good.
I suppose, with it being such a big cycle and you guys having worked on it since last year, was this recorded as a standalone single or kind of in an EP format?
No, it was recorded as a standalone single. We planned on, if lockdown sort of didn't happen last year, we were planning on dropping this single and then rolling into an EP after that, sort of like later last year. But just with the circumstances, we held on to this one, and now now that things are sort of starting to pick back up again, we're almost treating it like we're starting from scratch again. So we've released this single, and then we're going to do another 3-track, sort of in the coming months.
Yeah.
That'll just help us sort of build up that momentum a bit more. We just don't feel like there's enough hype for an EP or an album at this stage, so we're just going to ease back into it and get a response from this new stuff we've been working on, and go from there.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, that's a very kind of fair way to approach it, especially with everything that has been going on. I mean, it's so hard to kind of know how an EP release is going to go in this day and age. I mean, there were certain lockdowns that everyone was sitting at home actively seeking new music, and then other ones that, people got into Netflix and weren't listening to music at all. So yeah, it does make it hard, and I fully see where you're coming from in that regard. I suppose holding off on it a little bit.
Yeah, I think like sort of both avenues that bands take during these periods where no shows are happening, like sort of bigger bands that have that audience and have that fan base probably get more benefit from releasing music because they've already got that audience there. Whereas a band that's sort of at our level, like we're still trying to build that audience, so that's why it's good when we can release something and then hit the road and play it, and sort of keep building that audience. So we just kept working on stuff, working on demos and pre-pro during lockdown. But yeah, we sort of just came to the conclusion that it'd be best for us to release some stuff when we're playing shows again. So,
and unfortunately, especially for bands kind of like The Wandering, I mean, as you said, kind of having to pick up and start completely from scratch again because everything kind of came to a standstill. It's really hard in a big way. I mean, as you kind of touched on, at this point in your career, you guys aren't at the level of Polaris or something where you can kind of disappear for a year or so and then come back and people are like, sick, let's go, there's a new release. I mean, you kind of do have to keep pushing. So it's a really hard time, I suppose, that COVID did hit you and you had to have those time off because it kind of felt like you got to the top of the newcomers and then kind of got stripped back a little bit. So it is really cool to see you guys like pushing back and trying some new things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we sort of just have to get back out there and build that momentum up, build that hype up again. But yeah, hopefully that's soon. Sort of just this single was the first stepping stone, and and just get back to doing what we enjoy, hitting the road and playing shows and releasing music.
That's it. And yeah, it's a massive single, as I keep saying, man. And I know as soon as people get to see it live, Ash, it's going to go down really well. I mean, I know your show with To The Grave got postponed to April 1st. So hopefully now, I know with that, the song kind of being released, people can suss it out and have time to go see. But yeah, I'm really hoping for a massive release for you guys. And I'm sure the next year we'll have some pretty big things in store as well.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things, like this whole COVID situation is new to everyone. So, I mean, bands don't really know how to navigate these sort of situations. So It's very much just a trial and error, just play it by ear. So I think every band's in the same situation in terms of that. We don't really know what's going to happen next. So sometimes you just might try something, see how it works out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you try something else.
Exactly. You just got to play it by ear at this point. But
Yeah,
I suppose until then, A Beautiful Agony's just come out. So people, if you haven't sussed that, definitely go check it out. It is a massive single. Don't get deceived by Ashley's work get up. It is pretty brutal.
Thanks, man.
um,
I'm glad you enjoy it.
well, thank you so much for having a chat today, Ash. It's
That's all right.
lovely to meet you, man. And yeah,
You
massive
too.
single release. So best of luck with everything for the upcoming year.
Thanks, Sid. No, it'd be good to see you at the show if you're ever around.
Absolutely, man. The next Melbourne show will be coming to you, no doubt.
Happy days. I'll catch up with you there.